You got one of these quads sitting around, you can't get it to start or do anything at all? Let me show you something. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is whatever model you have, there's usually a panel right here that you can remove. So get that panel removed so that you can locate the wiring right here. And I'll get a zoom in a minute. And then the other thing you're gonna do, you need to access these wires and you need to access your ignition switch wires, which are just under right here. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is from here, you're gonna wanna find your harness. It's the biggest one here, and it goes up and connects to your ignition. So find the one that connects to your ignition switch, and that's the one you're gonna need. And it's the only one down here that's going to have a solid blue and a solid brown wire. Those are the wires that you're gonna be cutting here. All right. So then I'm gonna get down here and actually I'm gonna get some light for a minute. You guys can see pretty good, but I cannot. So give me 1 second. All right. So now what you're gonna wanna do, is you're gonna wanna get up in here. All right, solid blue. Let me see here. Yep, so this one, right here, snip it. And you can go all pretty close to over here because you don't need to hook it back up after this. So snip your solid blue and then find your solid brown. Is that brown? I can't tell. Yeah, I think that's the brown one. Yeah, solid brown. All right. Got my solid brown, my solid blue wires, okay? And you're gonna strip those. Get your strippers out. Strip it, I'll probably take a little more off. All right, so strip that one. Strip your other wire. Sorry, this is a pretty bad angle that I'm trying to do this on. Maybe a lot easier if you had this on a lift or something. All right, there we go. All right, so now that your blue and your brown wires are located, stripped and ready, you're then gonna wanna come over, back over to here. And what these wires are that we are looking for, oh, they're actually these ones down here that we need. So you're gonna wanna find the solenoid that is connected to your starter and to your power, to your battery. And that you're gonna wanna find not the positive. You know that there's a nut that has a positive and a negative. You know what? Let me show you real quick. I have another one over here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, right here. Check this out. Okay, so this is the same thing that's going to be on that one. They look exactly the same. This one's a little bit smaller, but they look exactly the same. So this is your solenoid. It's got, they're usually strapped up in here. It's got a positive and negative terminal that go to your battery. And then you don't need to do anything with this. So what you're using is you're gonna locate this wire that comes off of, you're gonna locate this additional wire that comes off of the solenoid. That wire has a green and yellow and a red and yellow wire coming off of it. That is what you need to locate. Off of your solenoid, there's a third wire that you have to trace, and it has a green and yellow and a red and yellow wire on it. We are going to be disconnecting the red and yellow. The green and yellow you can leave alone. All right, so off of that solenoid, here's that wire off the solenoid. And as you can see, we've got our yellow and red and our green and red, or sorry, green and yellow. We are going to be cutting our yellow and red. We're cutting it on the solenoid side. So this wire, you're gonna wanna cut it on the solenoid side, not after the plug. So leave it after the plug. We're gonna be cutting it at the solenoid side. Okay, hold that. Okay, so you're basically gonna pull this out, and you're just gonna cut it up here, like so. Get up in there, don't cut anything else. Bam, there it is. Okay, that's your cord, yellow and red. All right, let's strip that. All right, and then we need to go back here. You need to attach this wire to one of your brown or blue wires that you cut over here. These, there we go. The blue and brown ones that you cut over here, you need to attach one of those to this wire. It does not matter which one. You're just completing a circuit, so it doesn't actually matter. All right, so I'm gonna get a piece of wire because I don't have enough length here. Sometimes you can pull them and meet because you have enough length, but I do not, so I'm gonna grab a piece of wire real quick. All right, I've got some brown wire here, a whole bunch of it. Strip it, cut my length, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna wire it up. All right, I got one side stripped. I'm gonna tuck it in through here so that I can measure from here my length. And actually, I'll just go ahead and connect it while I'm here. So I've got brown wire because I'm gonna use the brown wire here, and like, why not do things color coded if you can? It's not really gonna matter, but. So this one we can tape because this one isn't going to change. The other one I'm gonna just do an alligator clip for now for testing purposes because I haven't even tested this quad out yet. So, but this is not gonna change. Even if I get this up and running good, this wire right here is permanent for me. So eventually I should actually do a connector and do it right. But, you know, we're busy people, so electrical tape for now it is. I'm gonna use, this is my tester alligator clip. It's just a little wire with, you know, one end exposed wire and an alligator clip. And I'm going to attach this wire end to the blue one here. And this is literally just for testing, and then I'll wire this blue wire up properly once we determine that this quad runs. All right, this quad does nothing, by the way. When you push engage, push power to it, it does nothing. And that is what we are what we are showing you how to fix. Hopefully, actually, because we don't even know if this one will still operate, but we're assuming that that is the issue. All right, so let's get you back over here. Now we're gonna hook up the other end of the brown wire. So we're gonna cut to size, cut a little extra. Oops, sorry. Strip it. And then we're just gonna attach this brown wire to our red and yellow. And we're gonna tape it. We're gonna do a really shitty tape job because that's what we're gonna do right now. And this is permanent. This wire will not change after I do this. Everything seems to work once you do this. Headlights usually. I don't know about this one because, like I said, this one hasn't been tested yet. But usually all your headlights work, all your kill switches, everything still works. Not everything. I mean, it does eliminate a lot of like the remote access that these used to have. It eliminates a lot of the alarms. And all right, so anyways, there's your brown connected to your brown, connected to your red and yellow. And that is it for that. And then we're going to take our white wire that I put over here with the alligator clip. I just pulled that through. Okay. And then this needs to connect. This is the tricky part. I'm going to show you on a different one. So for testing purposes, we're using an alligator clip. And right now I'm going to show you where I'm going to be putting the alligator clip on the other quad. So this is your solenoid that's in there. It's got the positive and the negative. The negative's covered up. I'm not going to uncover it. This one already has one ran. This is how I eventually hook it up when I'm doing it. When I know the quad runs, this is how I will end result it. But for now, I'm going to use an alligator clip on the other one. So I just clip it right like that. And then you can test the quad to see if it will start. So that's how I will be connecting it under the plastic of the other one. You just won't be able to see it. That's why I'm showing you it here. Okay, so I realized that if I came to the back of the machine here, let me get some light on here. All right, can you see that? I pulled the solenoid out a little bit. Looks like animals might have been living in here. This is an old one that I bought. But there's your solenoid. And you can see your red and your black, your positive, negative. I'm going to hook my alligator clip, which I already fished through here. I'm going to connect it to the positive here. So, as you can see, I've got pretty easy open lead here to just clip just like that. Boom. All right, that should do the trick. So then we come over here. I'm pretty sure this is dead, so it's not going to do anything. But let me get that like that. Let's get this a wider screen so you can see what I'm doing. And then I've had to jump. I don't have a jump box. I need to get another one. My other one's kind of jumped out on me. So I'm jumping everything with my lawnmower. So I'm gonna hook my lawnmower up here. And that should give me something. And we got nothing. Key. Okay, so this was the only one that they switched the key on. So without, these key wires might be messed up. So we might have to bypass the key on this one. So this one's going to be another project, I guess. However, that same process that I just showed you worked on that one. It worked on that one back there, which is the same as that one. So it will also work on this one as well, where the key used to be. And now they got some toggles here, and I just don't think these are working. So this machine is probably going to require me taking the plastics off so that I can see what's actually going on with this wiring harness. Because we're bypassing and eliminating a lot. So this should work almost every time. The fact that it doesn't work right now means that something is messed up with this key. Because the only thing that stops, at this point, the way we routed it, the only thing that stops it from working would be the key. So now. And obviously they've done some work there before. So now we know what to check on that. But just for verification purposes, I'll show you guys just so you understand. So this one was recently, I did the exact same thing to. And what I'll do is we'll hook up. The only thing I pulled off from that one is the white cable that I was using, because we already have it. We already have that. Our blue, this one we got blue hooked up, I guess, but it doesn't matter. Thing, and now if I hook that up, and then this one kicks over. So there you go for that.